Oh, there it goes. Hey, yeah. It's not showing my intro on the live though. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, we good.
Hey.
We on.
All right. Trying to get the fucking thing to stop. There it go. All right. And we are here. It's the UFC 241 post show, Dangerous Thoughts podcast. If anybody's watching, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but we all got to start somewhere, right? I'm Smoke the Conqueror. I am the host of this shit show. Uh, on Skype, we got my man, Icon Oki,
Yo, yo, what's good?
and we just a couple of struggling artists trying to talk about some UFC, man. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about, but um, I think the UFC, the actual post show with everybody talking is currently going on right now. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't see it right now, so I'm running OBS and everything. So my computer would probably die if I tried to go pull that up. Um, so where do you want to start at? What did you what did you think of the card overall?
Actually, I thought that it was a pretty decent
Yeah.
card. Hang on one second. I'll pull up the card for you. I'm trying to share the show
For
right
anybody
now.
that's watching, I actually have the card down at the bottom. I've got the prelims as well as the main card. So if you want to check that out. Actually, I don't think I actually. Yeah, see, you can tell this is the first show. I didn't get all of the results, but I have a lot of them on there, all the prelims, um, and I think I only got one of the main card results on there, but that's okay. I intended to put them all on there before this started, but I was having issues with the programming and everything, considering this is the first run through. But you know, hey, got to make mistakes to make success. Uh, yeah.
Facts.
So uh, early in the card, we had Benitez versus Youssef. Uh, that was
Right. Hang on. Let me get to my notes. Okay. Yeah. Yep. We had that. Actually, there was one before that. It was
oh
Brunson
yeah, yeah,
versus
yeah, Brunson.
Heinisch.
I didn't really catch that. I was doing something at the moment. Uh, but
Okay. Well, I can run through
yeah,
it real
go ahead. I
quick
know
for you.
Brunson won.
Yeah. But Heinisch came out with a nice kick to the temple, and people thought that that was going to go ahead and knock out Brunson, but it didn't. He kept going, but from there it was Brunson. He just had more significant strikes and takedowns, and he clearly won the fight.
Yeah. Uh, now um, I saw that Youssef actually dropped Benitez early in the first round with a clean shot to the chin. Uh, it looked to me though on the stoppage of the fight, it kind of looked like to me Benitez was trying to turn his body to stop from getting punched at the while he was on his back. Um, I mean, it could have been stopped eventually, but I think I would have let it go a little bit longer. But Herb Dean, like he's quick on the trigger with that, stopping fights. And I don't know if it should have been stopped so soon, but he was definitely losing the fight. It was headed to Shitsville. There's no doubt about that.
Oh yeah, I don't know, man. I gotta say I agree with this decision. And as soon as they started, they both came out swinging. I knew it wasn't gonna last long either way. But like you said, Benitez caught
Yeah,
him with a good one, like around
yeah,
215 in the first.
yeah.
He
He
had him staggering.
caught him
But
with a
other
clean
than that,
clean
man,
hook to the chin.
Youssef, yeah, shit. Other than that, Youssef was just better. He was more aggressive, and he was really entertaining too. I
Yeah,
want to see more of him.
definitely. I definitely watch either one of those guys fight again. Um, Also, Youssef busted Benitez open at one point in that fight as well. Got him bleeding on his around his eye, I believe.
Right.
So that was a pretty good fight. Uh, Ended in the third round, didn't it?
Yusef
Yeah.
and Benitez, I am not sure.
Thought that was a third round stoppage. Maybe it was second. I'm not sure. I wasn't.
I think it was second. I don't
I,
have that down on my
I
notes. I
wasn't
think it was
completely
second.
tuned in yet. Let's see here. After that, what was it? Oh yeah, Costa versus Romero. Romero. Um,
That
Man,
was a
that was
damn
the
good
best fight
fight.
on the fucking card to me. I mean, don't get me wrong. Diaz, and uh, Pettis was great. Don't get me wrong, but I just man that that Romero and Costa fight did it for me, man. That was a fucking slugfest.
Right. Here's a crazy stat for you. Costa had landed 22 or 25 body shots halfway into the second
Yeah,
round.
but I saw, and I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but I saw Romero ended up outstriking him with headshots.
Yes. Oh, actually, not only did he do that, but Romero outstruck him
Yeah,
96 to
it
55 in
yeah, it
the
was pretty
headshots.
lopsided on the headshots. I saw the numbers.
But the body shots were lopsided
Yeah,
the other way, with Costa having 43 and
he
Romero
also
having
got
7. So
he
I
also
think that and the lack of advancing
yeah.
killed Romero.
But I don't know. To be honest with you, man, if you look at the two, Romero took most of the damage. I mean, not Romero, but Costa took most of the damage. I think what it was really about was they're not going to end because Costa's undefeated. He's 12-0. Well, now he's 13-0. They're not going to end.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to end somebody's undefeated streak on a decision. You know what I mean? I don't think I don't think they would do that.
Well,
Also,
especially one
also
that
you need to
close.
consider Romero's 42 years old. That shocked the fuck out of me. 42 years old, and
Yeah.
the guy
Yeah, no
looks like
shit.
he's 22. And I don't
Right.
care what nobody says. That man is juiced out of his fucking mind. Like if you would have to show me his piss test to make me believe he wasn't juicing, because he's fucking yoked. I mean, the dude's fucking no necking. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Well, I mean that one I think you're right on why they went that way, the judges. You could call it either way, but if you ask me, the clearest round was the third round, and
oh,
Romero
clearly
got that.
Romero clearly won the third round. I thought the second was a toss up.
The
Yeah, I
second
thought the
could go
second
either
was a
way,
toss
yeah.
up. The first round, Costa clearly won it. But
Costa
I just
got it,
think as
yeah.
the
But not as clear as Romero
yeah,
got
I
that
think it's
third
just as
though.
the fight went on, Costa wore down, which is kind of weird because Romero's fucking 42 years old. You know, you
Romero had him very
yeah.
frustrated.
Oh, dude, yeah. Well, he was pissing off because fucking. I mean, this fight had everything in it. Okay, there was eye pokes, there was fucking nut shots, there was
A
hard
butt kick,
hits, there
yep.
was taunting, there was takedowns. It had everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Uh, and I think Costa was getting a little frazzled by the fucking taunting and the because every time he'd catch him with a shot to the face, Romero would mock him pretty much. He would stick his tongue out at him, like
Mm.
I'm eating your punches like it's nothing. You know, it's like that
Hmm.
face you do whenever you take a shot of tequila, like I just took this shit. You know, he was taking shots to the face like tequila. You know,
Yeah, he was
oh
having a good
yeah,
old time in there.
oh yeah. Uh, Again, I think the only reason why Romero lost that fight is because the other guy was undefeated and he's a young guy, and the other guy clearly took more of a beating, if you ask me. I mean, his face, dude, his face was fucking. He was all swollen and shit, and bleeding out of his eye and his mouth, and he looked like you remember that face that one of those people after you beat him up on Mike Tyson's knockout back in the day. Like those guys you beat up, like they'd be all bleeding from the eyes and the mouth and shit and swollen and shit. That's what he looked like.
Uh,
He looked like one.
I mean, yeah, they both had a pretty significant
I
amount of
think
damage.
Costa had a little more visible damage. I mean, personally, I mean, I know Romero had a swollen eye,
Yeah,
but there wasn't no blood coming out of
right.
him. I mean, the other guy was taking a beating, dude. Romero was hitting him pretty hard.
Yeah,
He was hitting him pretty hard.
yeah, yeah. Costa did look he looked pretty bad afterward.
Personally, I think Romero was robbed. I feel like personally, if you ask me, he should have won the fight. That's just me.
Well, I had him winning it as well, but like I said, especially whenever it comes down, you made a good point. Whenever it comes down to somebody
Yeah,
being undefeated in there, you can't allow the fight to
right.
be that close.
That's why Dana White always says, "Don't ever leave it up to the judges." But you know,
Yeah. I feel like, Romero just got too hot too
yeah.
late.
Which is crazy though. That's a testament though, because he's 42 years old, man. That tells you a lot about him. Now he may be having a little bit
True.
of help from the juice, but I shouldn't be accusing the man of juicing. But man, I'm sorry. I mean, again, show me the receipts. I need some paperwork. I mean, USADA got the paperwork, but anyway.
Yep, I'm not getting into that. Who we got next?
Hey, before we get
Diaz
into
and
this though,
Pettis.
do me a favor. Take this link. Go share it with the Peeps Nation for me.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh, you already
that's
did
been
that. Well,
done.
hold on. Was that for the other? Was that for
Yeah,
the other stream when I goofed up, or
nah,
this
nah,
one?
that was
So
for
you
this
just
one.
recently did it.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. All right. That's what's up. So anyway, yeah, that was a great fight, man. That was the best fight of the night to me. Um, I didn't get to watch much of the Cormier and Stipe, unfortunately. So, if anybody wants to tell me what I missed, leave it down there in the comments. Uh, but we'll talk about that when we get to that. After that was the Pettis and Nate Diaz fight.
yes.
All right, man. So you kind of know how I feel about Nate Diaz, man. I love the dude.
Oh,
I,
that's
I
my
love the
boy.
dude.
Yep.
It's just sometimes, man, I think he just tries to find reasons to not like people. Like, did you hear the shit?
He's just trying
Oh
to
yeah,
sell the
yeah, no,
fight. That's all.
definitely, definitely. But Nate, man, Nate kind of puts that extra into it, though, man. You know what I mean? Like, Nate be like on that hood shit with it, like. He puts that extra to it. You know what I mean? He brings a little bit. I don't know. I just kind of felt his reasons for not liking Pettis or whatever was kind of silly. Like, did you? Okay, so did you hear like Did you watch the little pre-fight video that they always do? The little video package.
I saw something on YouTube. Are you talking about their package
Right.
before it started? No, no,
Like showing.
I didn't see that, but I'm sure that it was taken out of what I had already
Yeah,
seen.
they just show you like the build to the fight and everything and whatever.
Right?
Well,
Yeah.
Diaz says. Diaz says that he wanted to fight him or started not liking him or something like that because he started acting like he was a big shot and then like because he knew him before he was anything and he started being on a Wheaties box and this is what really set him off was the fucking Wheaties box.
Yeah. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it was pretty silly. It
Like,
was pretty silly.
but it's cool though. Like I respect that though. That shit's funny. Like I gotta fight the dude on the Wheaties box.
Yeah.
I think that's great, man. That's good shit. That's entertaining. That's why Nate Diaz
Oh
is
yeah.
getting paid, and he deserves to get paid. That's why he's getting these big fights. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy, like if honestly, if you look at his record, he's the type of guy that Dana White would have already had kicked out of the UFC because he's kind
Yeah.
of a knucklehead. He's lost 11 fights. You know what I mean? But the thing that keeps Nate Diaz around is he's got that fire, man. And not only that, he went.
Yeah.
He even if he loses, he's gonna bring a great fight.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, I'm always gonna tune into a
Yeah, I
Diaz
mean it's
fight.
like I said before, and I mean this in the most respectful way as possible. The guy's a fucking pincushion. Okay, he's gonna take whatever you give him, and he's gonna keep coming
Hmm.
at you. He's gonna keep coming at you. Now, one thing, he's kind of like Tony Ferguson. Him and Tony are similar in that aspect where they'll just take a licking and keep on coming, taking a licking and keep on ticking. You know what I mean? Like they're similar
Right.
in that aspect, which is why I thought it was kind of bullshit that he said ain't no gangsters left in the. We'll talk about that as soon as we talk about the fight. But I thought that was kind of a shot at Tony, which they showed him right after that too. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah.
So I pretty much thought while Pettis had his moments, I thought Nate Diaz kind of thoroughly dominated that fight for the most part.
Yes, he outclassed him.
Yeah. Although I got to say, at the end of the fight, man, I loved when they had that little grappling back and forth and shit. Like that was fucking good shit.
Yeah.
That was good shit.
Yeah.
I honestly, I thought, man, Nate's too aggressive. He's gonna get caught with something. But I always think that about Nate, man, because he's just so fucking just wild, bro. He's a wild man.
That's the thing. See, whenever it made it past the first round, I was like, Diaz got this. Because Pettis just after that, it didn't look like he had too much power behind his punches. It looked like he was kind of out of it. You know, he just looked he looked beat.
Yeah.
He looked winded.
Yeah. He Although it's just, man, when you get to that grappling shit, man, if you just get caught, I mean, of course it takes strength to get out and shit. Like, okay, I don't know like what weight he's comfortable walking around at. Like to me, he looked a little thin tonight. And usually when you cut a lot of weight, I don't know how much weight he had to cut for this, but when you lose a lot of weight, man, it takes some strength from you. And when you get late into a fight like that, because Pettis walks around small like that, he's a small dude. Nate Diaz is 6 foot tall, and he's coming in at 160 pounds. 170.
Nah, 170.
He's coming in at 170, but he's 6 foot though, bro. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
still a thin, but I mean maybe he's comfortable. Maybe that's closer to his natural weight. I'm not sure what his natural weight is, but
No idea.
anyway, so I thought maybe that might have played a factor towards the end of it when you're getting in a grappling match with a small guy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I was kind of like, you better watch out with that shit. Get caught in a triangle or something, man. Fucking
Right.
done.
Yeah, but you know, Diaz got that
yeah.
ground game, man. And
Yeah.
you know, of course the strikes, he had more significant ones. Like you said, he just dominated him and outclassed him. He's too experienced, man. Diaz has been around the block a million times. He knows what he's doing. He's just too damn good.
Yeah, he's literally been around the block too many times. Like the man has fucking 11 losses.
Yeah.
That's crazy. He has 11 losses. Like I said, that's part of why I say he's the type of guy Dana should have. Typically, he would kick out of the UFC by this point. I mean, look, he just got rid of fucking Cyborg. Like she wasn't shit. Like just fuck out of here. Just because you said some sideways shit and you lost the fight and fuck you. Bye. You're too much of a headache. You know. Also, he's banned somebody from the UFC for using weed before. I don't know if you know that. I can't remember what the guy's name was, but he banned a guy from the UFC for weed. I think it was Nate Diaz or not Nate, Nick Diaz. Yeah,
Nick. I think so. Don't quote me on that, but I think so.
Diaz. Which is bullshit. It's straight up bullshit. So, but it just Nate just strikes. He's the type, like his entire story, his whole case is, it's the type of person Dana would typically get rid of. I mean, he doesn't like dealing with the bullshit, and if you lose. But the reason why Nate sticks around though, and he gets kept around, is because he sells the fight. He's entertaining as fuck, and he takes a beating and he gives a beating. He's almost exactly what Dana wants.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I thought that was a pretty good fight, though. I mean, Pettis did enough to, make it respectable. I mean,
oh yeah. Pettis, he did
open.
good.
I mean, Nate was bleeding for the majority of the fight.
Right, but we can't sit here and act like Pettis was not supposed to win that. He was supposed to win that fight.
Diaz. I picked Diaz before the fight. I thought Diaz would win the fight. I thought he was going to beat Pettis just because he.
I mean, hey, the underdog going into this was Diaz,
and he should. The reason why he was the underdog is because he hadn't fought since the McGregor fight. That's why he was the underdog. If he had did another,
but Diaz doesn't stop training though. He's been training the entire time since.
Well, not just that. His style doesn't take a lot of training, though. To be honest with you, he goes out there, gets punched, and punches the other guy harder, and then just bullies the other guy. That's what he does. Most of the guys he fight, he's significantly bigger than too. I don't know if you ever noticed that. Most of the guys he fight, he's usually bigger than them. The guy's 6 foot tall, fighting guys
Yeah.
that's like my size.
Right.
So, although I'm a lot heavier than all of them, I got a lot more muscle on me than those guys. But anyway, no, I thought it was a great fucking fight. It wasn't as good as the Romero and Costa, and it wasn't. I mean, just because Cormier lost, by default makes that better than this.
Oh boy,
So,
showing your biasness here.
but hold on.
But hang on,
Yep.
before we get to
Yeah,
that,
you're right. Before we get to that, though, I do want to say this. I didn't like. Okay, so after the fight, Diaz, during his little talk with Joe Rogan at the end. By the way, shout out to Joe
right.
Rogan. I like Joe, man. He does a good job on here. I watch his shit all the time. He doesn't always. I don't always agree with his ideas and his logic and shit and his opinion, but he's not bad. But so he's doing his interview with Joe Rogan, and he said there ain't no G's. He said there ain't no gangsters left. That was basically to me a slight at Tony Ferguson, because I don't know if you knew this or not. Him and Tony Ferguson were supposed to fight back in 2017, but Diaz rejected it. Well, at first he accepted it, but then he turned around and said he didn't want to do the fight.
Okay.
So it was something about he wanted to get paid more for it or some shit. He said something about it had something to do with situations, and he had an epiphany or some shit that he should be getting paid more or some. I don't know. It was some cocky ass fucking stupid response in my opinion. But in my opinion, Ferguson would beat the hell out of Diaz. It'd be a great fight though. I'd love to watch that, but I think Ferguson would beat Diaz handily.
Yeah, nah, I think you're bugging on that. I don't think
I
he
didn't
would
say
handle him.
handle him. I said he would beat him handily. There's a difference.
Oh, okay. uh,
Let's don't get it twisted.
I don't know.
Diaz can take a beating, but Ferguson, like that dude, just stops. Like he doesn't stop. You know what I mean? Like he's a force of nature, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna say like that one. I think would be a lot closer than you think.
It would
I'll
be a
say
good
that
fight.
much.
I just think Ferguson would win.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
You
know.
would pick Diaz in that one?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I mean,
I need to see the build to it. I need to see how they're feeling going into it and all of that.
Things can happen. Situations change. Also, the weight
Right.
they fight at.
Yes, all of that matters. So I don't know.
I mean, they're both around the same weight. I think they're both welterweight, lightweight. I think that's what that is.
I'd have to go look it up. But I was getting to that to say this: Diaz versus Masvidal.
Yeah, that's
Set
what I
it
was
up.
getting to. So he said there ain't no G's left. He said, but Jorge Masvidal, he had a good last fight. He was like, he said Masvidal's a gangster, but he ain't no West Coast gangster. I thought that was pretty funny.
Right.
He
Yeah.
ain't no West Coast gangster. Stockton, California. You know what it is.
Yeah, I think that'll be a really
Yeah.
good fight.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, I'm all the way with that. I feel like Ferguson though, man. His next fight, it's got to be either McGregor or Khabib. He deserves nothing less, if you ask me. Yep.
Ferguson, you said? Yeah. I personally would like to see Khabib.
Well, Khabib's fighting Poirier, so we'll see how that goes.
Right.
See how that goes. That's UFC 242.
Right.
I looked at the card for that, man. I gotta say that card looks pretty bad. I'm not a fan of that card.
I'm not going to say that because typically whenever you have sleeper cards like that, I mean, we witnessed one that was
those
great.
are just names and shit. Like the reason why I say that is
Right.
because a lot of them I didn't know. But
Yeah.
no, I mean they'll probably be good
Which is
fights,
fine, but yeah, and give them a chance to sell it too.
Yeah. I believe it's in Saudi Arabia, right?
I have
Yeah,
no
I think
idea
it's
where
in
it
Abu
is.
Dhabi. That's Saudi Arabia, I thought, right? United United Arab Emirates. Sorry, I believe I believe that's what
Yeah, I don't know
United
where it
Arab
is.
Emirates.
I just know it's too early for me over here. That's
Yeah.
all I know.
So
So yeah, then we had the main event, and I was in and out of
well,
that.
you saw more of it than I did, so you tell me.
Yeah, at the beginning it wasn't looking too good for Stipe, but
Yeah, I saw that.
um, whenever I started hearing the commentators go nuts, uh, they were just going at it. They were swinging at each other and connected with some pretty hard shit. And it looked like Stipe just got the better of it, knocked him out or knocked him down. You know, it had to be stopped.
They stopped it.
I mean, he didn't knock him clean out. You know, it was like it was one of those where you had him on the ground and he was, you know, teeing off on him.
So
Referee got
Cormier
in
wasn't
between him.
fighting back; he was just taking licks.
Pretty much at
Fuck.
that point, yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I didn't get to see it.
Yeah, nah, he didn't take a nap.
He looked like he took some shots because his eyes were kind of black.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Fuck, man. It's fucked up, man. It's all right.
yeah. I need to go back and see his post conference interview. You know, usually they don't interview the
Oh
loser,
yeah.
but since it's DC, you know, I guess
Oh
they had
yeah.
to do it. But I need to go and listen because the thumbnail that I seen looked like he was
Oh
crying
yeah. He looked like he
already.
was gonna cry in the ring, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, I ain't knocking nobody, man. You know, you cry, people cry, everybody cries. I'm not like on no macho fucking, tough guy shit. You know, every
I mean the guy's passionate and all that. You know, I
right,
respect that
right.
about
And I
him.
don't like Cormier, but I'll give him that. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. You know, I respect passion. I respect caring about what you're doing, but it's just kind of.
You're
I'm
just not
I'm
a
not a
fan.
fan of him, man. I think he's just kind of corny, man. I think the shit that like example, he got into it with that boxing announcer on Twitter. Forgot what his name is, but he used to box, and Cormier was criticizing his his play by play, his blow by blow analysis or whatever, and he was saying that he was biased to one of the guys in the fight. I can't remember exactly who the people were. I just remember seeing the back and forth because I'm actually banned on Twitter right now. So don't worry, I'll be back, motherfuckers. I said it. Uh, so anyway, he was criticizing the boxing guy, his play by play, and he said that he sucked. Well, the boxing guy responded and said, "Oh, you thought my announcing sucked? Well, I think your striking sucks." And
Right.
Cormier immediately resorted to the, "Oh, well, how many followers and how many likes and shares and fucking that lame ass fucking." He went that route as a response. Well, how many
Yeah.
people are
Mm,
following you and liking your comment? Like that's just so fucking lame, man. And any of you people out there who
yeah.
fucking do that shit, like when you're arguing with somebody on Twitter or whatever the fuck, you're a fucking clown. Like that shit. Like,
Right.
why are you gonna insult my intelligence? Like you probably didn't buy half of them fucking followers. Like they think that we don't know that these things exist where they have like a room full of like phones and computers and shit, and they literally allow people to buy them as followers.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing with streaming music and things
Yeah,
like
you can
that. You
inflate
know.
your fucking followers and your plays and all that shit. So what I'm saying is that even in that context, this shit doesn't even matter. The, that shit doesn't matter because there's no way to really prove who's what. So
Right.
Cormier just bringing that up is just fucking corny. Like really,
Yeah.
you're talking about crafts here, and you're fucking. Then you start resorting to social media. You know what I mean? Like, you started criticizing the man. He
Well,
responds.
hey, men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
But they do.
Went out the window whenever.
Numbers.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm getting to that. Went out the.
Yeah.
Hang on. Whenever YouTube got in trouble for fabricating
Right.
views, that shit went out
Right.
the window. We all know it's fabricated.
Numbers don't necessarily lie, but they can be misleading. Numbers don't tell the full story. That's what I always say. Because it's all just, it's real. It's numbers are like supposed to be binding. You know what I mean? Like there's no way around it and this and that. But the problem with numbers is they don't show the entire story of things that happen. Like there's things you can't put numeric value on. You know what I mean? You can't measure it by, any type of quantity. Those things are called
Well,
intangibles. And intangibles
that
tell the rest of the story.
and this in this day and age, it's just they can just completely
Well,
fabricate shit.
to me,
Period.
my problem is though is it's like people have this mentality of if you can't quantify it or put it in some type of numeric value, like meaning like a number that has value to it. If you can't put it in some type of numeric value, then it's less than. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So
I mean, apparently, some people have never heard quality over quantity.
right, right. Well, I'm just saying the the number of something or what type of value system it is doesn't define exactly how much it's necessarily worth because sometimes in certain even in sports even in life there's things
Yeah,
that
of
you can't
course,
quantify or put in the measure of a number that tell the story. That's all I'm saying.
yeah,
So
that's a fact. Hell, look at the food industry. They fucking charge the hell out of bottom feeders like they're a delicacy.
yeah, right, exactly. You can put a number on anything, you can make it mean whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
doesn't mean nothing. So anyway, that's my rant on Daniel Cormier's corniness, and I just think that's a corny way to try and have a comeback in a argument that you're losing. So not only did he
Yeah.
lose on Twitter, he lost in the octagon tonight. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. I haven't seen it, but I'm already pretty certain that it's good. It's such good shit.
I mean, if you ask me, John Jones is the greatest of all time anyway. No matter how this fight went. So
Yeah, I'm in that camp too. Look, man, you know how I feel about it, but people feel the guy's been in trouble. You know,
yep.
people feel how they feel. They say he's a cheater. He's been popped for steroids. I mean,
Mm,
just because you get caught doesn't mean you're not cheating.
true.
So I just think it's silly because I believe the first time he got popped when against Cormier, I believe it was for cocaine, was it not?
I think so.
As far as I'm
Don't quote me,
concerned,
but I think
cocaine.
so.
Would you consider that a performance enhancer? Is cocaine a performance enhancer? I don't know. Is it? They consider weed one too. I wouldn't call weed an
Shit.
enhancer. Although
No.
I could see how it would help somewhat because it kind of slows you down and it helps you like to me it helps my reaction. Like people say it delays reaction time, but that's part of why my reaction time is so good. Like, bro, like something could fall off the table and I'll catch the shit. Or like I'm about to drop my lighter and I'll catch it. Like
I mean, I can't speak for other people. Maybe it's just different for
it
other
is,
people.
it is, it is. And that's the thing that really annoys me is they act like it affects everybody the same way and it doesn't. Like I operate better with it. I'm more focused.
Oh, I don't fucking know. All I know is just get the fuck off of it and quit treating it like it's,
Yeah,
deadly shit.
yeah.
It's not.
It's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. We can go out here and punch each other in the head. That's completely legal. But I
Yeah.
can't. smoke a joint. That's one reason why I love Nate Diaz. Bro, like he don't give a fuck. Like I don't think he stopped smoking when he trains.
No,
I think he
probably
told
not.
Dana White, "Fuck you, I'm a smoke."
As he should.
I think that's honestly how these conversations go. I think he tells Dana White, "Fuck you, I'm smoking." And Pettis,
Good
by
for
the
him.
way, said on an interview somewhere that he said he'd be down to smoke a blunt with Diaz after the fight. Yeah,
Oh, did
yeah.
he?
I thought that was good shit. I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh, well, go for it, man. This is coming from somebody who doesn't even smoke. I don't care.
Well, it's not even about whether you smoke or not. It's about how fucking ignorant are you? I mean, in my opinion, it's pretty much what it comes down to. I mean, because you don't have to smoke, in my opinion, to know there's nothing wrong with it and that it does help some people.
No.
You don't have to smoke it to know that.
Yeah, I mean, hell, if you ask me, fucking tobacco and alcohol are way worse.
I mean, it's not even really about opinion. I mean, it's about facts. I mean, how many people get lung cancer from smoking cigarettes?
Yeah, as a fact. Yeah. How many deaths does alcohol
I mean,
cause?
and we're not even talking about bodily functioning wise. We're talking about just like getting in cars, people getting stupid and getting
Mm,
violent because they're drunk.
yep.
People drinking too much, making their body shut down.
Yep.
And that's not even talking about the failing of the liver, the failing of the kidneys,
Yep.
what it does to your brain. You know, so
And anything in excess is bad, but you can't draw a
well, it's just
comparison
yeah,
between
no,
these
it's just
things.
it's comparing fucking. It's not even apples and oranges. It's like you're
Yeah.
comparing apples to broccoli. I mean, literally.
Yeah. I mean, okay, weed is used as for medicinal purposes. Is alcohol used for fucking
Back in the day,
medicinal
yes,
purposes?
actually, yes, they used to use. Yeah,
Was it really?
for one, you can clean gunshot wounds with it.
Oh well, yeah,
That's
yeah,
one
I
thing.
get
Well, hold on,
that,
hold on.
but
Well, no, back
I'm
in the day they
talking
used to
about
use it for that though. Like they would, and then also back in the day, like before they, pull bullets out of you or whatever the fuck, they would get you. They would have you take shots. You would take shots and shit. Like they would have you drinking and shit while they're trying to take
okay,
bullets out of
yeah.
you.
I don't know if I would equate that, but
I mean,
all
no, but
right,
there is some medicinal purpose for it, just like there was for
okay,
cocaine too. Just like there is for heroin. There's actually medicinal purpose for opiates. But the problem is doctors hand them out like they're fucking candy and they write prescription to anybody who fucking wants one. And not only that,
oh
they have
yeah,
the
well,
corporate stamp on them. Window getting smaller on the thing. That's weird. Yeah.
is it? I have no clue.
Is it getting smaller on the stream? It's getting smaller on my fucking OBS.
Oh, it is.
I don't know why is it doing that.
I'm fading. I'm fading.
I don't know why it's doing that, man. I,
That's hilarious. I don't know why it's doing that, man.
oh Jesus! I think it's starting to act up. How long have we been streaming?
It's been a while, man. About 40
Okay, that's
minutes,
not too
yeah.
long.
This motherfucker is like pea size. You know that commercial? This one is small like a child.
That's funny. Yeah, it says that. Okay, we've been going for almost 40 minutes, 39 and 53 seconds right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. That ain't too bad though. That ain't too bad.
Nah, it ain't. Yeah, it's about time to go home
Yep,
anyway.
yep. It's
Fuck it.
about that time. This has been good though. This has been a good little first run. I just want to say, for anybody that's watching, I'm also a huge wrestling fan. I know UFC and pro wrestling don't typically get along. I know there's somewhat of there's somewhat of a relationship there because how many pro wrestling guys have tried to go UFC and there's been UFC guys who try to go pro wrestling. Like Cain Velasquez is down in AAA now. I don't know if you knew that. But
Yeah, I actually
yeah,
did hear that.
but no, there's more. I mean, there's more and more becoming UFC guys that become pro wrestlers. I mean, and there's already a precedent that's been set by Brock Lesnar, Ronda Rousey. Daniel Cormier is a huge wrestling fan. He said he wants to do it. There's tons of guys. There's tons of people. Conor McGregor, obviously, they've tried to get him to do it, even though he's shit on wrestling, whatever. But
Yep, Cyborg wants to
Cyborg,
do it.
uh, I mean, I'm sure there's more that we don't even know about. I know Chael Sonnen was thinking about it for a while. He's a semi wrestling fan. He doesn't completely shit on it. Um,
Well, you know, Ronda did it, and she's great.
oh yeah, she's better in wrestling than she ever was in fucking UFC, if you ask me.
Eh,
You don't think so? You think she was better in
uh,
UFC?
I mean, well, hell, she went undefeated for
No,
how
no, don't get me
long? I
wrong.
mean,
I'm not taking anything away from her. I just think she was that good in pro wrestling. I think she was fucking great. I didn't.
I enjoy her more in pro wrestling.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you can put it that way. I thought she was really good though, personally, and I think people hate on her way too fucking much. I thought a lot of people didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. Quite frankly, I think a lot of people were just up Becky Lynch's ass right now. Right now, so
Yeah. Well, you know, I ain't watching, so y'all can add that.
nah. But you know what happened. You watched Ronda's run and everything, so you know
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
talking about.
oh yeah. And Ronda's run was
She was
fucking
great.
gold.
She was great. People were talking about her mic skills and shit. I thought it was great. I mean,
Yeah, she was awesome.
so a lot of these people got their opinions, whatever. That's fine. You're allowed to have your opinion, but you're also allowed to have your wrong opinion too. But anyway, yeah. For the people who watch pro wrestling though, come October, October is going to be a pretty big time for the world of pro wrestling. If you're interested in it, it's going to be basically the new wrestling war that you guys might have known about back in the day. The Monday Night Wars between WCW and WWE or WWF. Well, now WWF is now known as WWE, and they've dominated the game since. But now there's a new company that's backed by a billionaire, and his son is running it, and he's got some pretty heavy hitters on the squad already, and could possibly be adding more in the future. And they're an upstart, and they've got WWE on the shaking in their boots a little bit. But anyway, so come October is when they're called AEW, and come October is when AEW finally gets live on TNT. And so I think it's only fitting that I start doing a Wednesday Night War review of some sort, which I'll probably record and release on Thursday, or sometimes I'll probably go live with it Wednesday night. I might do that, just every so often, whatever. But I kind of hope you can join me for that whenever I end up doing that. You still there?
I mean, as long as they keep NXT in that slot that it's in.
Well, we already talked about that. We already talked about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm gonna be doing that. That's gonna be a thing coming up. I'll continue to do some of these UFC ones if people like them. I like talking about it. I'll give a little more information about who I am and what I'm doing later on. This is kind of just a test deal. I hope everybody enjoyed it. It was a pretty good card overall. I was entertained, and I thought the best fight of the night was Costa and Romero. Hope everybody agreed. If not, you're allowed to disagree. That's fine. And you got anything else you want to add, Icon, before I shut this bitch down?
Um, yeah, go check out our music on
Yeah.
Spotify, iTunes. Look up Smoke the Conqueror. Look up
Oh yeah.
Icon Oki. Check
Yep.
out our music. And we also have material
Yep.
on YouTube.
Got a new album coming out, Enemy. Look for it. I'm gonna be dropping something before you know it.
Yes, sir. And if you don't have Spotify or iTunes or Apple Music, we're also on every other platform as well.
Yep,
So
yep.
just
I
check us
also have a
out wherever.
SoundCloud as well, which I'll be putting information on that on the stream the next time that I go live. Um, so if that's all you got, man, I think I'm gonna wrap this bitch up. All right,
Yes,
man. It
sir.
was good. It was good having you on, man. Appreciate you rocking with me.
Already appreciate you having me.
All right, y'all. Well, I think this stream has come to an end, and I think I'm going to have to bid you adieu. Good night. Goodbye. Bang.